Hello there gorgeous gamers and welcome back to Pure Play TV, and we've got our review for Gladiatus, a new VR game for Oculus Quest. A wave-based zombie shooter. So, is it any good? That's always the question, isn't it? Let's have a look. I had never heard of Gladiatus before the opportunity to review it came my way, and when I saw that it was a wave-based zombie shooter, my expectations were lowered even further. I kept an open mind, of course. Plus, I like killing zombies in VR. Saints and Sinners is one of my favourite games of all time, and The Trial, its wave-based mode, is great fun. So, did this little app lab title rise to the occasion, or did it shamble about listlessly? Honestly, a little bit of both. You play as a contestant in a game show. However, in this game, you don't win a new car or a trip to the Bahamas. No, this game show is more Running Man than The Price is Right, and the host is more Negan from The Walking Dead than Bob Barker. As the game begins, you find yourself trapped in a shipping container with the host explaining to a live TV audience what's at stake, namely your life. I don't really understand the game's story, but I'm pretty sure that aliens have taken over the world, and now it's full of zombies and alien spiders. And despite this, we still can't stop watching game shows and reality TV. Sad, but not surprising. There's a training section that explains the decently robust upgrade portion of the game, including the many different guns and melee weapons. As you progress, you'll collect money to buy new weapons and ammo, meat to increase your physical stats, and crystals to upgrade the weapons you already own. Because these wave-based shooters all need a decent progression system, or they'll get stale real fast. Gladiatus does a good job here. There are a ton of weapons to use, most of them you'll need to buy, but some of them you can find laying around in the arena. Upgrading them is fun too, but I wish that the upgrade crystals were easier to come by. The upgrades to your physical attributes are actually more useful, especially early on. Increasing your health, strength or travel speed is crucial. As I said, I like the progression system, but I would have traded the speed upgrade for a run button. The game features decent physics with many melee weapons getting caught on the objects in the world. Swinging them to cause actual damage isn't as fluid as I would have liked, but when you knock a zombie's arm off with a well-placed swing of a crowbar, or when you sever a zombie's head clean off with a katana and watch it roll away, it almost makes up for it. But in the end, there is no substitute for firepower. The guns are the most fun, if only because no one has mastered the feel of swinging a real weapon with nothing in your hand but a near weightless piece of plastic. You'll find a vast collection of pistols, SMGs, rifles, shotguns and more. You can also akimbo all of these or carry a gun in one hand and a melee weapon in the other. And while there are a lot of weapons to choose from, this pales in comparison to the number of enemies you'll face. The first few rounds will consist of different forms of zombies. Some of them shamble, others run. Some have helmets and even body armor, while others are still carrying riot shields or guns that they don't quite remember how to use, but will still mess you up if you catch a stray bullet. The running zombie clowns will erupt into confetti when you blast them, and the glowing scientists in hazmat suits will burst into green globs of radioactive goo when they pop. After certain rounds, you'll have to deal with the bosses, while the game's announcer expresses his surprise that you're still alive, and the crowd is cheering you on. Or maybe they're rooting for your death. I reckon it's a bit of both. The art style reminds me of the original Crisis Brigade, which works really well in VR. I do usually prefer a more realistic aesthetic, but when alien spiders are crawling out of the ground and jumping around, the less realistic, the better. While Gladiatus is just another zombie wave shooter from a one-man team, it manages to surprise in more ways than one. The main survival mode has been done a million times, and while it's good, there is better out there. But my favourite part of the game is the challenge mode. Here you can choose twin double-barrel shotguns, or two katanas, or even a giant railgun. These aren't as deep, but the mass amount of carnage you can deploy is the type of the end-of-the-world scenario I can always get behind. Gladiatus doesn't reinvent any kind of wheel. If you don't like wave shooters or killing zombies, then feel free to skip this one. But if you don't mind this style of carnage, it's cheap enough to give it a go. And that is the end of this video. Thank you very much for hanging around. You're a trooper, you're a star. Go on down below, hit the like and subscribe buttons, drop a comment, give the bell icon a nudge so that you don't miss a video. Go to the info box for our social media channels, website links, and our supporters links, where you can support the team, if you can. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, bye bye.